And once again, you've ignored the subject of this debate, which is what need or purpose is served by the existence of life in the universe, and more specifically, life on Earth. And you just don't want to touch that subject. Our origins are crude and ignorant, the forces. The mechanism is consumption and reproduction, and that has to be apologized for, explained, how that's purposeful in its ultimate conclusion. What's it going to accomplish? And for the price it's paid for it, which is having sentient organisms ground up in this mill of consumption and reproduction. And like I said, you didn't touch that. A few people finding contentment is not a good enough excuse, in my opinion. It's not a good enough prize for the price that was paid for it. I guess it's just this zombie nirvana stuff that you people talk about. This complete impracticality of combining something called contentment with compassion. Compassion by its very nature is not a contenting emotion or thought or concept, because there's no way you have it without having appreciation for the thing called suffering. So it's an oxymoron to combine those two concepts. You're basically just saying my addiction's good, your addiction's bad. That's all you're saying. And then to make comparisons to, cigarette smoking and your addiction to some idea that we should travel the cosmos so that human beings have something to accomplish out there, some dusting to do, or, there's an eighth ingredient to the special sauce that you're going to find to spread on your dead animal beef burger. Another addiction you can't even see past. I mean, you make excuses for nature. You say we are designed to do a certain thing by nature. No, human race chose a few 100,000 years ago to start eating meat. It isn't anything nature requires of them. They can stop, as been proven by millions of people, anytime they want. That's your addiction, your attachment. Again, you just keep apologizing for nature, calling it science to revere nature, respect nature. You call it balance. Big deal. It's an arbitrary balance. Nature can't be in any other state but balance by nature's standards. It's just a silly notion. For hundreds of millions of years, the balance was giant tyrannosauruses chomping things to pieces with their big giant teeth. That was the balance. So anyway, you think so there's some sort of perfection that we're going to achieve, and what would that perfection be? It's just silly. The only way you can define perfection is in somehow perfectly satisfying desire, and doing it so efficiently where there's nothing that's sentient that is harmed in the process. So good luck with that. You haven't explained how human beings will ever going to get there to any practical way. The 10,000 years of evidence of our civilization is pretty clear evidence that we're not getting there. We're not going there. Intelligence capacity is not really evolving. It's not the smartest people who are breeding. It's the least smart. But you don't need a huge giant brain to do the simple addition of figuring out what life is and what morality is, and you can't even do that because you're going to justify slaughtering other animals, harming them to satisfy your own grumbling belly and say that's a good thing. Why? Because you're somehow better. Your consciousness is better than that consciousness, more in need, more deserving of satisfaction. And that's really what you're talking about. You're the glutton and the pig. You're the one that keeps needing to feed. So again, the issue is why should you create another rat for the maze? Not whether we blow the maze up and slaughter all the rats. No, the question is why would you put a new rat in? Why would you breed new rats to play a stupid game? And you haven't explained why it's not a stupid game. So do that.